We live on an 8-acre homestead in the middle of the woods.
We grow our own produce, raise our own chicken, pigs, and lamb.
And on top of all of that, we also homeschool our 4 boys.
We're here to show you that homesteading does not have to be an enormous undertaking.
By starting small and not biting off more than you can chew, you don't have to wait until you have the perfect property to start living more self-sufficiently.
Today, we're going to show you what that looks like for us.
Now, like I mentioned before, you don't have to wait on that 20 acres and white picket fence to start growing your own food. Sure, we have 8 acres, but a very small percentage of that is actually garden space, just because we have to think about how much sunlight the area is going to get. With how much woods are around us, there's not a lot of sunlight that actually touches a large portion of our property. A lot of what we're growing this year, you could easily grow on your deck or porch, and I'll use this tomato over here as an example. So this simple little tomato setup right here is a perfect testament to how little space it actually takes to grow food. Now, we planted this in a grow bag, which I think cost $3. We have some soil in there, which we bought for 10 to 12, and I'm tying it up to a T-post, which cost another 5. Tomato seeds might cost $3 and you'll get like 60 seeds. So if you're starting from nothing, you could easily do something like this on your patio for under 20 bucks, and space-wise, it only takes up about 12 inches horizontally. My advice is to plan very carefully when it comes to deciding what exactly you're going to plant. I know how exciting it is to make that first seed order in the spring when you've been cooped up all winter, and we're guilty of the same thing. So what's been really helpful for us is to kind of ask ourselves, what are the main foods that we're always running to the grocery store to get? And if the goal is ultimately to eliminate the grocery store or limit the amount of times that you're having to go to the grocery store, then it makes sense to kind of figure out what are your staples. So for us, one example is spaghetti sauce. We're always running to pick up pasta sauce or spaghetti sauce, and I don't really like eating the stuff from the store. I don't love giving it to the kids. It's got a lot of additives in it, and there's a ton of sugar. So that's one thing where we decided tomatoes are going to be a big focus, and we've put a ton of emphasis and a ton of research into tomatoes this year and how to do it properly to get a lot more of them in order to basically eliminate those grocery store trips to pick up that one ingredient.
So the kids and myself and Cameron love making homemade sauerkraut. It's just not the same when you get it from the store. So because our cabbages are not quite ready yet, I knew that the local farm stand up the road has plenty of beautiful cabbage. So we stopped up there to pick up a couple so I can make fresh sauerkraut for everyone. And it is super easy. It does not take a lot of time, and it tastes better than anything that you can ever get at the grocery store. So we are excited to have this in the fridge. All you need for sauerkraut is cabbage, dill. This is optional. We love adding dill to our sauerkraut, so I'm gonna add that today. Salt and crocks. Now, I have 2 different kinds of crocks here. This is the one I started out with. It's a 2-liter, and it's a sauerkraut humble house crock, and it comes with weights. These are what you really want to use in your sauerkraut, and we will put a link to that in the description. I got this crock. It kind of looks like an urn. I got this crock in Millersburg, Ohio, when we went to the Food Independence Summit, and I found it at an antique shop. It didn't come with the weights, but I'm just gonna add the weights to this. So it's a little bit bigger than this one, which I like because we eat a lot of sauerkraut around here. There, and when I'm done doing this, we can try to make some jam. So you want to slice your cabbage pretty thinly. I'm gonna go through and chop all of this up again too. It does not matter if you use green cabbage or purple cabbage. I've used both. Today I just chose purple. I'm gonna keep slicing this up even thinner without chopping my finger off. I have a habit of cutting myself a lot. And this is only one. Maybe I'll only make one today because I don't know how much room I'm gonna have. So I'm gonna add this to a big open bowl because we're gonna do a lot of mashing. Oh, you also need one of these. All right, so this is just 1 cabbage. I bought 2, I'm just gonna do 1 for now. As you can see, it's filled up this big pan, but I am going to just start mashing it up, and it's gonna shrink down a lot. It's gonna turn into like half the amount of this. I am gonna add 2 tablespoons of salt. This is gonna help break it down. So after doing this for a while, the cabbage is gonna start breaking down and it's gonna start getting all of that juice. So when you add the salt and you start crushing the cabbage, it turns into brine. It helps release all of those juices, and that's what we want to get a lot of. I'm gonna keep doing this until it's half the size and there's a lot of liquid in here. So you can see how much of the brine is in there now. We have a good amount of juices at the bottom, and it has reduced about half. So that's kind of what we're looking for to know that it is time to put them in our crock. Put them in our crock. Because it has reduced so much, I'm gonna use this one. If I would have done the other cabbage, I probably would put it in here. So we're gonna put it in the 2 liter for now. I almost forgot the dill, Lord have mercy. You can add like garlic, and there's tons of different flavors that you can do. And I just eyeball it. I have no idea how much you should do. That's just based off of your own liking. Ooh, look how pretty that is. So I'm just feeling around the edge, making sure that I have all of the cabbage kind of scraped off the edge. Now, the weights I'm going to slip in and just place them right on top. And then I am pushing down on the weights and all of that liquid is going above them, which is what I want. That means I did enough smashing, there's enough brine in here, so it is totally submerged in the brine. And that's it, that's how you make kraut. And now I'm gonna let this sit. You could do it a couple days. I keep testing mine and just take little bits here and there, and then I kind of know. But you can do it about a week, depends on like the temperature in your house, I think too, but I'd say a week is about a good enough time to let it sit and then munch on it after that. Then you can put it into a mason jar and store it in your fridge. And that's it.
So we do have a little bit of a heat wave coming through. It's going to be in the 90s the next couple days. So I'm giving all the vegetables really good deep watering. You don't want to water them when it's that hot out, especially in direct sunlight, because you can totally bake your plants. Now we don't know exactly all the fall crops that we're going to plant, but I do know we want to plant broccoli and cabbage. So I'm going to get those started in the seed trays tonight and get them under the grow lights. Now all that really takes is getting some water mixed in a starter soil. That's going to help the seeds to germinate. I'm hoping we have enough time left in the growing season here to actually get something out of this. Always a gamble. Alright, so now that we got that soil nice and packed in there, we should be ready to start throwing seeds in. I'm going to start with cabbage. I'm going to do half the tray cabbage, the other half broccoli. They might not all germinate, so I'm going to plant more than we need. Now I just got these seeds this spring, and they had pretty good germination the last time I planted them until my chickens destroyed all of them, left the tray outside. Rookie mistake, but I'm just going to do 2 seeds in each cell for now. You want to do multiple in each cell because if you get one that doesn't germinate, then at least you've got another one that probably will. Now you might be asking, Cam, it's summertime, why wouldn't you just plant these out in the garden? Well, broccoli and cabbage are both cold weather crops, and if I plant them out there when we're getting 80 and 90 degree weather, they're gonna grow, but they're probably gonna bolt or grow super fast and go to seed right away. So I wanna start these under lights and then put them in the ground in the fall once the temperatures drop, and I'm gonna have a lot better chance at success that way. All right, we just gotta go throw those under the lights now. I think this is the record least amount of mess I've ever made doing this. All right, now I'm just clearing some room on the grow shelves here. We just barely fit this shelving unit in my office area here, and this is kind of more of a hobby area. So I work from here, I edit all of our videos from here, I've got music production equipment back there, and now a grow shelf. So my list of hobbies is extensive, bordering on excessive. The last thing I want to do is lower these lights down a little bit. So when I'm waiting for the seeds to germinate, I'm going to keep the light about 1 to 2 inches. above the tray, and then as they grow, I keep raising it.
So we love sauerkraut, but we also love some good fridge pickles. So I'm gonna throw that together really quick. Again, super easy. If you're just starting out with making your own homemade stuff, is a great place to start also. And all is required is vinegar, sugar, salt, cucumbers, and again, I love my dill, so I will be adding dill to the cucumbers. I'm gonna do 1.25 cups of vinegar. We're gonna add it to a saucepan. 3 tablespoons of salt. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. And sugar, 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. Now let's put it on the stove. So you wanna put this on high heat until the sugar and salt dissolve. So I'll let that rest for a minute. So you can peel these. I'm gonna make cute little stripes because it makes it pretty in the jar. So once you notice that it's getting really hot, you wanna keep whisking it. Don't just let it sit there. It's gonna take probably 5 minutes. I still have salt in here that's not dissolved yet, so I'm gonna whisk it until it is, and I'm not gonna leave the pan. Oof, got vinegar in my nose. Oh, so I'm gonna add this to this pan, and then I'm gonna add 2 cups of cold water. So that's the brine, super easy. And then I want this to chill completely before I put it in the jar, so I'm gonna set this aside. This is too big of a pan. I don't have any room in the fridge, so I'm just gonna move it over here. But if you have room, put it in the fridge. Okay, now I'm gonna chop the cucumbers. So I have my 2 jars, and I'm just gonna pack it. You wanna pack these with your cucumbers as high up and as tight as you can. Get a little dill pickle fun. So I am chopping my 3rd cucumber to fit in this jar. Obviously, it depends on how big the cucumber is, so I can't really tell you how many cucumbers per jar exactly, but I'm gonna pack about 2.5 cucumbers into here, and I'm doing it as tight as I possibly can. I am going to add the dill to each jar itself to ensure that there's an equal amount of dill. So if you put it in the brine, you just don't know how much is gonna get into your jar really. Again, I'm guessing on the dill. I don't know, just whatever my heart says. So once the brine is totally covering the cucumbers at the top, you are ready to go to put them in the fridge. Leave them in there for 24 hours and they're ready to eat, and these will be good in the fridge for up to a month. I always pick up a pack of these lids. I always end up picking up I love picking up packs of these lids. Pick up a pack of these ball lids. These screw top lids are really, oh my,